You know, some people say it takes too much time to clean and prepare food for yourself, but it's no more time than it takes for you to make a chicken or lasagna and the cleanup after. It's no more or less time. She's being dragged through social media that she gained a lot of weight, and so that appears to be the justification for why she was cheated on. So I have another take, another angle. It's interesting that we were teased for the way that we eat, which is just fresh food. We prioritize fruits, vegetables, lentejas or lentils. So yes, I eat meat. Solo comer solo carne de coco, de aguacate, de lentejas. I'm eating meat from the earth, right? That doesn't encourage to not only stand in what your goals and your priorities are for your health. I'm going to say to women, for your beauty. That's local, and the collard greens that my sister and I have grown in our little humble garden, and the turmeric. Greetings, this is Body-Culinary, and just finishing cleaning up after making a big batch of green juice with some nice basil in it. Yeah, and as I'm sitting here cleaning, and I will tell you, you know, some people say it takes too much time to clean and prepare food for yourself, but it's no more time than it takes for you to make a chicken or lasagna and the cleanup after. It's no more or less time, but enough on that later. Today, just as I'm cleaning in the early day, my mind is really clear. I'm just really marinating over this woman, this chocolate woman, Lela Rochon. And I have to say, you know, I think it's so interesting that she's being dragged through social media, and to hear it roll off of menfolk's tongue that she lost weight, that she gained a lot of weight. And so that appears to be the justification for why she was cheated on. So I have another take, another angle. As I was sharing before, I was recently at a gathering where there were several men. There were several men, not all of them were black. Well, different shades of brown and melanated, sun-kissed men, you know, from Creole culture, which is a culture, but of Caribbean descent and black, you know, all of that, just solarized men of color. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting that we were teased for the way that we eat, which is fresh food. People put a label on it, but it's just fresh food. We prioritize fruits, vegetables, lentejas or lentils, aguacate or avocado, and cocoa. Because when people say I eat meat, I like to say yes. I like food to bring us together, right? So yes, I eat meat. Solo comer solo carne de coco, de aguacate, de lentejas. I'm eating meat from the earth, right? That doesn't have a mother and a father and doesn't bleed. But anyway, one of the men saw fit to jab us all night. I didn't take it personal. I just thought it was interesting. And in the morning as I was cleaning, I was like, wow, we were teased for, they would say that we don't eat food. Now, we eat a lot of food. I'm classically trained as a chef, but that's besides the point. Even if I wasn't, I enjoy eating immensely. You know, at one point I was wondering when I used to do fitness competitions if I went back to not eating any animal foods, if I would become emaciated. That's never happened because I eat enough calories and I enjoy eating. So I'm just really grateful at this point that I don't have to diet. That's the furthest thing from my mind. So I can take that energy and focus on other things. I can be creative, you know, with my food. But here's the other part. These were grown men, adult males, you know. You could say successful in their respective careers, in the way that they support themselves and their families or just themselves if they're single. And, you know, the way they were going on about, and this is just a point of observation about, yeah, you know, about the drinking and this drink and that whiskey and this cheesecake and this Snickers. And I was thinking like, wow, these are men, if we look at in terms of positions of, I don't know if I want to say power, but the ability to control your destiny as a collective, perhaps as individuals and as a collective, economically. Health is a major industry, and health is a major part of your wealth. And if these men are attractive and they exercise and they work out, do these men not consider their prostate, you know, the market for Viagra? Many men, and now at younger and younger ages, their sexual organs don't operate optimally. A big part of it is because of lifestyle, overuse, not taking the time to get educated on the health of their organs and their genitals. This is many women too. Maybe perhaps women, because we have babies and we have to go for GYN exams, we may be more cognizant of that. We'll go to the doctor. But I really think, and this is not to bash the men, it's just an observation. It really struck me as very immature. It just really struck me as immature, and then also trying to fit in with the status quo. So many clients and many people trying to lose weight and going to a nutrition or a fitness coach, one of the things that commonly comes up, one of the common obstacles is when they go out to socialize with clients or at family gatherings or on vacations. You know, I hear it all the time. I've heard it for years and years and years. And so at this point, I feel pretty laser, because these are accomplished, intelligent people in their respective careers. Some have several degrees, you know, but I also understand I'm a mother and I'm a strategist. And I like to understand the why and what drives our behaviors. That a lot of times we just want to fit in. So it takes a lot of courage to not only stand in what your goals and your priorities are for your health. I'm going to say to women, for your beauty. So I really like to paint pictures and go straight to the heart of the pain factor so we could come to present. For example, I had such horrible acne at a point years where I used to be ripped up that I would have traded all of the muscle just to have clear skin. And if you want to wear makeup and stuff, that's fine. I love grooming and beautifying. Make sure it's not cancer causing. But it's a freedom to be comfortable with your hair and your skin. It's a freedom. It's definitely taking your power back in terms of somebody determining whether you are chosen or what your worth is. If you're what's the term now? If you're effable, you know, if you're sexable, if you're sexy. So it's no secret that many women are considered tossed away. But just like anything, just like with the black narrative, you know, any people's narrative that has been oppressed or put upon, you know, I can definitely say as a black person, what do we have? All we have is choice. It's easy to say we don't have choice, and that's understandable too. But only we can write a new narrative. And I've been laughed at for years and made jokes of people. They weren't necessarily malicious, but if you don't choose to eat what everybody else is eating, people get uncomfortable. And so for many years when I was around people, back in the day, I would drink seltzer water with lime just so people could be comfortable, and so it wouldn't be a big production or to alienate people or to alienate myself, so I can just go out and have a good time. But then also, free food used to be my undoing all the time, and eating too much nuts and mindless eating, the mindless eating. So all that being said, responsibility, no matter how much fun you're having, the responsibility to pay the check for what you're doing to your body temple. The responsibility and the accountability is yours, not anybody else's. You know, and again, I come back to this Lela Rochon because people, I just watch it roll off of, and this is something for us to really take a look at. Then I watch young men saying, well, she didn't take care of herself. So we could go back and forth, make it right or wrong. But it's giving us some key information in terms of, you know, and we don't live just for them, but understand that many people don't think logically when it comes to looks and being visual. and all your logic can go out into the toilet, where you're not even concerned about your own body and your health and your prostate and your organs, because you're trying to fit into circles of power. You're trying to seem, what I've observed for men, more attractive in terms of, the lingo of the power base, and I have access to this. And, some of these guys say this have big guts, and they're talking about Lela Rochon. This is, if we step back and not take it so personal, so we can see how the information and the conversation can benefit us. If nothing else, to get really, really clear on leveling up from the inside out. And I would say that comes from taking care of ourselves. So as we can see, and I think it's very beneficial that more women, and the conversation is going to younger women, that extremely attractive women, the Halle Berrys and the Lela Rochons, look at them. It's stunning. Way off the meters. They get mistreated and cheated on too. And at the end of the day, you're not only your body is gone, your juice, your juiciness. It's not just whether or not you can have children, but it's the vitality in your body, your smile. This woman had a fantastic career, and just putting everything to the side and putting everything into your children, and not having your body, your body temple, but also your juiciness and your lust for life. It gets replaced with complacency, and we fall into a rhythm of not taking care of ourselves, and it has to be primarily for ourselves. I think we're starting to get it. You can't wait for everybody else to get it. You can't wait for people to go to the gym with you or to look for partners. I've told clients and people for years, when you get there, there'll be people there that you can socialize with. But if you're waiting for your best friends and your family to go with you, a lot of times it's not going to happen. And there are people that prioritize success. And don't get it twisted. I like to have fun. I enjoy food. I also realize, and my son used to say this, sometimes there's so much simplicity. Just like when that man was saying Lela Rochon let herself go. It's a deeper something to that. What's the why? What is he attracted to? And so what is her power? It's the juice. It's the vitality. I would say it's really important. It's really important to protect and value your juice, your health, your waistline, your brain power, your positivity, because you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and optimistic about life, and then you lose your juice, you lose your optimism, you lose your desire to want to dance and to be creative. A lot of that creative energy we're trading off in sex, and not to demonize sex, but there's certain conversations that are not being had with us because our mothers didn't have these conversations. We were just told to go to church and pray over everything, or at least our mother's generation. So the information is there. I'm glad to see more of a constructive conversation, and the critical thinking is starting to click on. And I think this is definitely an opportunity. The conversation doesn't have to divide us between natural, perm, working out, not working out. Just being strategic and understand what's important, not to underestimate your vitality and your beauty and radical, as I said, radical self-acceptance. Can you feel really comfortable if you take all of that stuff on that you feel to you sensual and juicy? And when you put so much care into yourself, and it took so long to get fit or to clear up your skin, it's like, why would I want to eat foods that rob me of my beauty? If anything, I would say the final frontier, or a next frontier, I don't know about the final, a next frontier is mindless eating from distraction, which can often happen when we're watching YouTube videos or watching the tube, or definitely when we're triggered from stress, bad news, or worries about finances or our children or our relationships. So preserve your beauty. I'm eating the way I'm eating. If I remove the label of vegan, I'm eating for my vitality. And I don't think I'm better than anyone, but yes, I'm considering myself. Yes, the amount of work I put into myself, yes, I have a level of esteem where I'm not going to destroy my health because something so supposedly tastes good, but it's garbage that I'm putting into my body. It's a different perspective. It's a different perspective. And when we get to that perspective, it's nothing like clarity. There's nothing like clarity, because when you get clear, nobody can pay you to eat certain stuff. Nobody will be able to pay you to put yourself in harm's way. Younger women, my nieces, and the younger women out there in the, in the neighborhood and extended community, nobody could pay you to open your precious womb and your body temple and your genitals to put yourself in harm's way when you get clear and you start to get a plan and develop a plan for what you want your life to be. Because you could look up and you didn't spend any time dancing, you didn't spend any time creating, you didn't even explore possibilities of a business or travel, and you lose your juice. Your juice is precious. And then for the men folks, out there, don't get it twisted. We're constantly being swayed by somebody's looks. I think where men sometimes get duped is because they're only looking at somebody superficially, they're not taking the time to value character. They're underestimating character. And usually a lot of times we get that from the women in our family, from the nurturers and those that take care of you, have that undying love for you. But where there's a lack of maturity, I think quite often that men folks may not be seeing, when you're constantly extracting from those nurturers. If you look at a lot of the women, I see it all around the world. I see it in Central America, but quite often, definitely in the Black community, those women are left with quite often nothing. And in Black comedy, there's quite often a joke is made out of us, big mama, where we just have an attitude, and we're at unhealthy weights. We become the butt of people's jokes. So with that in mind, if I value myself, love and self-love, it's a verb, it's an action. We defend a lot of the superficial stuff, but do we really, honestly, along with the radical self-acceptance, can we look at ourselves and really say, based on our actions and results, that we genuinely love ourselves? Is all that we have to offer, our vagina? Is that the whole obsession is that I'm going to put on something and I get the security part. I'm very glad for that conversation of women before they put themselves in harm's way and before they have children. Understand that someone that's immature, and by the way, sex is for grown folks, grown responsible people that are willing to take the responsibility economically for the possibilities of children, diseases, the lack of focus with your career and creativity. It's for grown folks. I know popular culture and the music will have you thinking it's not so, but based on results, after the couple of minutes is over, you wind up so distracted, so taken off track. I'm just appreciating the availability of social media in order to have this conversation, because sometimes you may not be able to have the conversation with your close relatives and family members. But there are people always out there looking for information on health and fitness and just the wisdom of somebody else's years. I'm smart enough to know that I don't know it all. So, I'm humbled by the wisdom of others that years ago I didn't get it, sounded like it rang true, but life experience will humble you and teach you so much. So, just all of that, sending positive vibes out to Lela Rochon, but the lesson for all of us, males and females, are we getting the lesson? But definitely women, are you getting the lesson of eating food for beauty and for sharpness? Why would I not want my brain to be functioning optimally so I can make good, if not excellent decision making when it's time to make decisions? And that does go with everything that you put into your mouth. And I would definitely say in alignment with this is the chosen, the choice to celebrate yourself, your kinks, your scars, your stretch marks. People dread the crone age. Well, we can write a new narrative. And the confidence. You don't have to buy into the narrative. You don't have to buy into the victim mentality, or just because something has been your experience or a chapter in your book. That's not all of your book. There are more chapters in your life to be written. And I love to fuel my brain and my critical thinking with the best possible fuel that's available that is cruelty free. So that gives me more clarity than just vegan, per se, or vegetarian, because you could be very unhealthy with any of these labels, and all people, meat eaters, and many people also that eat fruits and vegetables, if it's not balanced, other than these labels, you can have deficiencies. The label doesn't speak to all the decisions you're making day to day, right? The other things that are not food, your creativity, your sleep, your relaxation, toxic relationships, beneficial relationships. That's why it's holistic, right? It's looking at the whole picture, rather than just follow fashion, as they say in Jamaica. Follow, and not critically thinking. We are at a time where we have the opportunity to be critical thinkers. So embrace your hair. I invite you. I don't tell grown folks what to do. I invite you to explore a paradigm shift of eating for optimal brain function, for the optimal function of your breast and your womb. Even if you haven't had children, that energy, my godfather told me this years ago, and when you're young, you don't have a frame of reference. Because you don't want to hear it, because you want to follow what everybody else is doing, right? Your peers. But that energy is creative energy to either make a business or to dance or create something, and we lose that when we get distracted a lot with sex. If we just put it in this perspective. And I'm saying that so we don't get turned out and left angry, bitter, and out of shape, which leaves us with less juice and vitality. Protect your juice, ladies. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your body temple. Even if you're larger, just have an appreciation for the essence of you, and wherever your body is, love it to another level, but appreciate the body temple that you have right now. And I'm so glad to constantly be, the wisdom that comes with the accumulation, of years of not shaming people for their hair, however they choose to wear their hair, or their body shape. Everybody wants health and vitality, and we all have strengths, in different areas. So I have to clean all this. I'm going to take this this pulp, just wash out all the stuff in the juicer, aka or FYI, wash your juicer immediately so it doesn't pile up. But I don't like to waste all of this, so I made a bunch of green juice with climbing spinach that I pulled from the yard, cucumbers, basil, and local limes. Around these really small local limes. So I have laundry to do, I have compost to do, and let's not get it twisted. I'm a natural gal, but certain things I choose by choice. But that does not mean cheap. All the shea butter cost, traveling cost, there's a standard. Come offering your best, right? I'm offering my best to myself. I'm going to offer my best to whoever is in my circle of influence, whoever I'm interacting with the most. So yes, I'm requiring, and I'm saying to you folks, require the best from folks. Don't give everything away to folks where it's not a good investment of your time and your energy, and you're just not getting anything back from the conversation. You're not being stimulated with new ideas, or inspired to dance and to move, or inspired to create your business. If everything is just, for a quick roll in the hay, I mean, like, that's it. That's not very, impressive. Protect your juice. Use your juice. Think of your seeds or your eggs, the energy of your eggs, for them to be in a good space, right? The endometrium lining, the nourishment, you want them to be like in a healthy lining. You want your seeds to be in fertile ground. And this is fertile ground, so we want top quality seeds. And that's also in terms of not just, not just that juice that comes from our male counterpart, but also if they're bringing value. I like to garden. I like soil. I like land. I like travel, and I like things that are going to secure me in my future for the inspiration and the motivation that I give. And a lot of it I give I provided, you know, for people that are looking at some point, if my family members out there in the States, hey, are interested, I leave breadcrumbs around for people and I share, and I definitely give back. There's a lot that I just give back because that just makes sense. But when it comes to your juice, don't give it away for free. Don't give it away for free. Don't give folks wifey and the massages and enemas and all the green juices and stuff if there's no investment. And this conversation, this is like an epiphany for many folks in their late 30s and their 40s. Because at the end of the day, you'll be like sucked out like a raisin when you could be somewhere aerial dancing, which I plan to do. And one of my greatest loves, one of my newest things that I'm falling in love with, which I never thought I would be attracted to, is belly dancing. So, you know, to have the desire to do things, that's juice. And to make the time and prioritize it instead of chasing behind, you know, some quick roll in the hay, it's not necessarily a good investment if we just put it in perspective for what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's for grown folks. That's it for today. Let me squeeze the rest of this stuff out of this pulp, put it in the compost so I can get to my exercise. All right, folks, create a great day on purpose. So everybody can grow something.